Right. There's number 6a, please mark. Simplify square root of 144x squared y squared. Square root of 144 is 12, square root of x squared is x, and square root of y squared is y. Okay, at B, that minus is in front of the square root. So that's completely separate. Then I break up my square root and say square root of x to the power 4 will be x to the power 2. And you will see in the bubble on the right hand side, I explained how I got to those. Are you back? I'm glad. So basically what I did in that bubble is I broke them up to, instead of x to the power 4, I said x to the power 2, x to the power 2. Because now I could see that those squares and the square roots would cancel out. Okay, so just to show you how I got to the x squared, then square root of 25 will be 5. Can you see that negative is still in front? Okay, so any questions there? None. Can I skip? Right. There's C and D. You still copying? Six A. Yeah, remember square root of x to the power of 2. That to the power of 2 and the square root cancel each other out, so that's why only x is left. And the same for the y squared. Okay. Tell me when you're done. Done. Okay. There's C and D. Any questions? Yeah.
If it's the cube root of negative 27y cubed, wouldn't it just be negative 27y?
No, remember that cube only applies to the y. So that's why this, for that one, the cube root cancels it out. So that's why I only have y left. But the minus 27 is like cube root of minus 27. Okay. You fine with that? Yeah. D. Okay, so people, you didn't have to write this step. I'm just writing it so that you can see I would break them up. Right? Okay, now, square root of 25 will be 5. But square root of x to the power of 2. Because that to the power of 2 and the square root are opposites of each other, they basically cancel out. So I'm just left with x. Okay, same thing at the bottom, yeah? Yes, I just said that. No, you can go from here to the answer. Okay, and the bottom part, you find that. Okay, anyone else? Can I skip? Need to. Okay, there's E and F. E was pretty straightforward, but I want to quickly speak about F. That first part, okay, wait, let's first go through E. So if I worked out the cube root of each one of those separately, I'm going to end up with minus 4p over 2. But what I wanted you to see is that minus 4 over 2 can be simplified further. And that's going to give me minus 2p. Okay, so please remember, do you want to give me your phone for 30 days? So please remember that when the instructions say not factorize, simplify fully, it means I could not have stopped there. You would lose this last mark because you didn't do it fully. You didn't simplify fully. Okay, right. So let's look at F. First thing that I wanted you to see is that negative is separate, so it's going to stay there. Now I only get square root of 49 over m squared, and that's going to give me the 7 over m. Okay, then that minus, again, same thing. Now, over here, I've got to get square root of 81m over m to the power 3. But can I get square root of m? No. Can I get square root of m to the power of 3? No, why doesn't it want to work? There we go. M to the power 3. I can't. But what I wanted you to see is that I could actually cancel out that m with one of these m's. And that's how I get to the next step of 81 over m squared. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay, and now because of that, I can say square root of 81 will give me 9, and square root of m squared will give me m. Right, now both of these have got a denominator of m. So they are like terms. So I can go and subtract. So minus 7 minus 9 gave me minus 16, and it's still over the same denominator because when we add or subtract fractions, denominator stays the same, eh? So minus 16 over m. Yeah. Where did this one come from? Oh, over here. It was square root of m to the power of 2. And the root and to the power of 2 cancels each other out. Yeah. This one. Did you go directly to that? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So now we're done with the chapter. And I just quickly want to revise. You guys will see that I did post a test, and I scanned those other ones, 2 more tests, which I'm going to post just now on the WhatsApp group, again, for you just to work through at home as revision. I think it's the one is from 2018 and the other one was from 2019. Okay, but what I want us to do in class now is we're quickly going to go through some of the revision. We don't even have to write all of it down. If you just want to make notes, we're going to do it together as part of revision. Okay, that's on page 27. So maybe just look at the questions there. Okay, so number 1, they asked me, write down the numbers that are integers from the following list of numbers. Okay, now by now you guys would have forgotten what integers are. What are integers? Who wants to tell me? Yeah?
Negative numbers and positive numbers.
Good. Okay, all the negative, positive, and 0. And that we can find on page 18, just for those of you that are still wondering. Okay, so have a look at those numbers. I'm going to give you 1 minute to quickly write down, or quickly scan through, and then you only write down the integers. The exercise is on page 27.
Is it number one?
No, it's the revision exercise. Yeah, they give you a list of numbers. So from that, choose the ones that are integers. Right, you guys done? You guys done? Okay. Okay, so your list of integers, we said just now it must be whole numbers, right? Meaning all the positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0. Okay, so that first one is pretty straightforward, but have a look at this one. The cube root is actually cube root of, what's 54 divided by 2? 27. No. And cube root of 27 is actually 3. And 3 is an integer. Okay? Okay, the third one is straightforward. Now, square root of 36 is actually 6. And isn't that an integer? Yes. So remember in the beginning of this chapter, I warned you guys and said, when you see a third, don't just automatically think it would fall under thirds. That's it. Okay? You can simplify and then have a look at what that number actually is. All right. Then at number 2, it says, write the following numbers in ascending order. What does ascending mean? From small to big. Okay, right. Do that one. If I haven't started or answered the question yet and you are finished, please go on. We're going to work through as much as possible. So you can work up until end of number 11. So don't wait and do nothing or, like Isabel, sleep. What are you doing? Reading. You already did it.
No, I'm reading.
Oh. Remember, don't wait for me, carry on. I'm going to mark now, and I just want you guys to get a bit of a head start. You guys done? Can we mark a bit? Okay, so at number 2, I wanted you to write it in ascending order. So we start with the small numbers and work our way up to the bigger ones. Now, because these were all negative numbers, the further they are away from 0, the smaller the numbers will be getting. Okay, so that's why we start with a minus 33,915. And then we work our way closer towards the 0. And the one closest to 0, the one that I end with, is the minus 8,978. So any questions there? Yeah. Which one? Are you asking about the 0,125?
No, ma'am, she's asking about the 117,4.
It's a comma 4. Yeah. Kyk mooi vir daai, né? Okay, then at number 3, they say the temperature one night in Ulundi was measured at minus 1 degrees Celsius. The temperature increased to 8 degrees the next day. By how many degrees did the temperature rise? So to work out how much it's going to rise, I'm going to take the highest minus the lowest. No? Meaning the 8 minus the negative 1. Now what's going to happen to those two minuses? It's going to become a plus. So meaning there was a 9 degrees rise in the temperature. If it's just 1 mark, you can skip to the answer. But if it's 2 marks, show me the calculation. But because here, I would give you a mark for that plus. If you got the answer right without showing any calculations, then I could give you 2 marks for the 9. But as soon as it's more than 1 mark, look at the mark allocation. Then you know I'm supposed to write more than just one thing. Yes.
Minus 1 plus 9.
No, but if you take minus 1 and then say, what did you say? Minus 1 plus 9. And then you got an answer of 8. So basically you, huh?
Never mind.
You said minus 1 plus 8.
No, that's just how I knew I was 9 because...
That's fine. You're doing the inverse. Because you saw that it was 9 degrees, you said start with the lowest one, add my increase, and then you end with the 8 degrees. Is that what you did?
Basically,
Yeah. If you do that, mate, it's fine. But then just at the end, maybe say 9 degrees rise. Okay. I would be able to, ek sou dit kon aflei van jou bewerking af ook. Okay. You girls at the back. Right, then number 4. Which temperature is lower, minus 3 or minus 4? Minus 4. We just said the further we move away from 0, the smaller the number gets. Okay, did you guys get to number 5 yet? Okay, right, so take 2 minutes. Quickly do. Number 5 and on. Don't stop when you're done with 5. Carry on.
Dan is meer die tyd vir afkondigings vir die eerste pouse.
Hold on, I'm going to show you now. Right, let's quickly mark. I don't know up until where you guys got. Number 5A, B, and then 6A and B. That was pretty straightforward. At number 5, we just had to substitute in. Please remember to put brackets around when we substitute in. Okay, if you don't put brackets around, you are going to get it wrong. You're going to get a completely different answer. Was that what happened? Yeah. So remember about brackets there, people. Can I skip? Yeah?
I think that's like -2 there positive -2.
No, it's actually, you talking about this minus, no? And then with that one, no. This is -0, and can we get -0? No. So it's actually nothing. Oh, over here. You mean those two? Oh, what does BODMAS tell me? First bracket. So I can't touch that negative in the front yet. I must first sort out these two. Okay. And -2 to the power of 2 gave me a positive 4. So this whole term would then be -4. Okay. No, you couldn't. But people, if you get something like this, show me that you substitute, meaning that's your first mark. Then put that whole thing, just like it is, into your calculator and get the final answer. You don't have to show the step in between. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do is I ended up writing up until, I think, end of 10. So I'm just quickly going to skip through, no? So that it is on the video. Then you can just watch that last minute of the video if you want to mark your stuff, okay? So I'm going to skim through. There's 7 and 8. There's 9. And there's 10. Okay. Right, so that's up until where I got. I'm going to stop the video now. You can just mark that at home once you've done it.